Hello class, welcome to math. This time we are going to work on some of those fun puzzles, or I consider them puzzles. It's when we have a chart that doesn't have all the information in it that we need to figure out. So this particular one is asking about apples sold, and there are green apples, there are red apples, and then there's a total number of apples. And if you can see, if I can get it close enough, if you can see, it gives an example of how to figure out how many red apples on that very first day. And that is to take the total, which is 80, and subtract the 60 green apples, because we know that number, and you would then end up with 20 apples. So to do our very next one, we would do, they've changed it to be different. This time they just need the total, so it's going to be 15 plus 50. There we have 15 plus 50. We have 15 green apples, 50 red apples, and we get a total of 65 apples for that particular day. The next one is slightly different. It tells us the total number, and then it tells us how many green apples. So if the others we added in order, if the second one we added to get the total, then it would make logical sense, just like on Monday, that you would use the reverse of addition, which is subtraction, to find the other answer. So that answer will be 100, which is the total, minus 30. And you would be able to then know how many red apples there were on that day. Now the next one is just slightly different, but it's actually just the same. It gives you the total, and it gives you the red apples. Not the green apples, but the red ones. Don't be tricked. It's just the same as finding out the red apples. We would take the total of 120. We would take away the number of red apples, and that will tell us how many green apples. All right, there is one here that is a slightly bit different. Let's go on to Friday and see what happens. Friday has 2 blanks, which means that we don't quite have all the information. We're going to have to figure out what that total is in order to know how many red apples there are. And the way we would do that is we have the total for the whole entire week. It tells us that it's 600. So if we can add up our numbers and then take those that we already know away, take them away, remember those key words, take them away from 600, that will give us how many were on Friday. So let me do that. I am again going to use my margin. Please show your work somewhere on your paper. Math papers shouldn't be all that clean. They should be just a little messy from all the work that you have put into them. So there we have the total for the rest of the week without Friday is 365. Now we can take that 365 away from 600. That will give us what the total amount was on Friday. I made a little mistake there, so you're going to have to overlook that for me. Instead of making a subtraction sign, I made an equal sign. Then I tried to get rid of the bottom one, and it just made it bigger. So that actually is 600 minus 365. From that, we will have the answer to be able to then figure out how many red apples. And it's going to be, we're going to put a box here because I don't want you to actually worry so much about the answer as I want you to understand the process. So here you have 600 minus 365, and that equals the box. So to figure out how many red apples, we would have the box minus 40. I hope that you are enjoying doing these puzzles as much as I am. There's no assignment for tonight, but just to watch this until you understand. And I will see you at class tomorrow.